Hello there and welcome. It's Matthew, the designer. Today we are talking about franchising your printing business. Getting it right the first time, every time, anywhere and anyhow. Is that possible? Of course, yes. What is a franchise? Is it multiple stores across the country? Is it a brand? Is it employees? Is it the owner? Is it capital? I believe it's none of those. A franchise is a system. If you are interested on franchising your printing business, you must think of systems. The question is how to think of systems. View everything as a process. I believe everything is a system and everything can be systematized. The only thing that cannot be systematized is human emotion. There I've got limitation and difficulties to systematize human emotion. It is possible that you franchise your system. To franchise your printing shop or printing company, it's highly possible. But you have to understand what it takes. And in most cases, printing companies has got a wrong mentality or a wrong perception about a printing franchise. I've worked for printing franchises and I've worked for family-owned or other sort of printing businesses, general businesses, let's say. I noticed that the difference between the two is not necessarily in capital, as most people think that printing franchises, they've already got the capital because the franchisee has already paid the money. It's not about that. It largely depends on the approach and mentality. If I can talk along the lines of enlightenment, I will say it's consciousness. David Lynch once said, if you have a golf ball size consciousness, you get a golf ball size awareness, a golf ball size understanding, golf ball size result. It's consciousness. Reprinters, they are not conscious, they are not aware of how they can change and how they can do things. The thinking that they had created a problem that thinking can never solve. Now they need to adapt to a new way of thinking so that they can be able to systematize the business. So it's all about consciousness. It's all about being aware that this can be done in a different way. This can be systematized. This can be done. Errors can be removed. Printing can be a system. How to think along those lines? It's simple. View everything as a process. Input, the process, and then an output. Try to break everything step by step. Be it it's a design process, be it it's a coating process, be it it's a machine operating process, but view it as an input, the process, and then as an output. Try to view everything as a process. I think this is witnessed by ISO 901. They say it's a quality control system. They say every output is always an input for another process. A brief from the client, we are done with it, but it serves as an input for the designer. The designer designs and executes the job cut. As soon as they are done, it serves as an input for the machine operator. The machine operator prints the job. As soon as it's done, it serves as an input for applicators or finishers. You need to be conscious. You need to be aware. This must be something that you must do. Most companies, they don't do it because they don't understand the returns on that investment. Hence, they don't standardize and they don't systematize. View everything as an input, the process, and an output. It must be something that you want to do. It must be. So there are two types of printing companies: the printers and the reprinters. The reprinters reprint everything. They reprint everything. They get things right by chance or by luck. And they are satisfied and they are happy. Things are continuing, like things are going. They keep it going and they keep it flowing. They get things right by luck. However, there are printers, the printing franchises, companies that are obsessed with getting it right. How do they get it right? Let's look at the focus. If you want to win with a printing franchise, let's say you are a designer and you want to work, or you are being interviewed at a printing franchise and you want to work for them, I think this is a foundation for you to stand a better chance. Show them that you are a systems person. Show your administrative skills. And then you can go on and tell them about your Photoshop skills and CorelDRAW skills. Because these guys are very high in administration. They don't deviate from their standard. For instance, before you help a client as a designer, if in this company you are responsible for making codes and also making invoices, billing the client, in most printing shops there are steps that you have to take, and you do them in a certain way. There is a certain way, and they don't allow you to change that system, because that system gets things done the right way. You will find out before you get into the actual work of the client, you've got 15 minutes that not necessarily you waste, because waste is an understatement, that you spend in trying to maintain the system, doing a code the right way. To them, it doesn't matter how long it takes. It doesn't matter if it takes time or the client pending. To them, it doesn't matter. They are not willing to deviate from that system, because it is this system that maintains their quality, that maintains their brand. So franchises or franchise companies, they are into administration. They pay attention to details in how they do things. They are always thinking about, how can I make sure that tomorrow I still get it? They go on into details as far as filing. How do we save our file so that if this designer is not around, we can easily get it and then continue? But reprinters don't. The other thing, printing franchises, not necessarily they are very slow, but their turnaround time is different. Their turnaround time is different from the reprinters. Reprinters have got a very short turnaround time, which is unrealistic. A printing franchise is very, very strict about the turnaround time. For instance, 7 working days. The 7 working days become 7 working days, because they don't want to sacrifice the quality. They want to get things right the first time, every time, anywhere and anyhow. So franchising starts with the manager, starts with the owner, starts with the visionary, a desire, a zeal and a will to get it right. If the owner or the manager or the person in charge doesn't have the zeal, it's impossible. It doesn't cost a thing. Most people might say, maybe I need capital for the machine, I need this and that, I need to get the right employees. It has got nothing to do with the right employees. It has got everything to do with the will and the zeal to do the thing, to do the right thing, to get things right. What is the problem with businesses or printing companies that don't have system, or that are not operating as a franchise, or they are not systematized, or that are not standardizing? This is what I've noticed. The quality and the turnaround time depends on employees, and it changes over time. Sometimes they will be lucky and get a guy who can get it right the first time, every time. But sometimes they are not. They will get a guy who's still learning. So they don't have control in the quality. But printing systems, printing franchises, people who are conscious of systems and standard operating procedures. They get a guy who get it right. Maybe the guy has got a different way of doing it. They sit down with the guy, they ask, how do you do it? They write it down. Can you teach us this new way of doing it? And then they save it. Obviously, the guy is an employee and also is a creative person, also is a visionary. He's not interested on selling his own way of doing things. I never seen an employee like that. Even me, I never done that. Employees, they are not interested on selling their ideas, but they are interested on seeing their ideas manifest, helping other people. That's who we are. So companies that are not standardized, they are missing in this system that maintains itself. Let's look at Mother Nature. The rain falls down, hit the ground. As a result, plants, they grow. The sun hits the ground. As a result, water on the ground will evaporate, move to the atmosphere, condenses, and come back as rain. Isn't that phenomenal? There's no one to maintain that system. It maintains itself. If you want a system like that, consider franchising. But however, you have to view everything as a system. There must be a system. The reason why reprinters or general printing companies, they never get into the process of systematizing, it's simple. Discipline. If you want to consider a printing system, a printing franchise, same quality, same time, same everything, discipline. You must be disciplined enough to do it. And in most cases, it also works against you. Not in a negative way, but most people who own printing companies, they've got this notion of being in control. Maybe it helps, it's an exciting thing to see your vision into life. But if you want to get into franchising and getting things right the first time, every time, I think it comes with a price to pay of sacrificing some certain control, a certain control in a way. If everything depends on you, then how are you going to take a vacation? How can you be gone like for a month? It's impossible. But if you look at all printing franchises, managers and business owners and franchisees, sometimes they can take a vacation and the system will continue. Everything will be done the right way. And also they can monitor the business wherever they are. They can say that, okay, this is what is happening. They can give you a call and say that we need to fix this because this is going to happen. Everything can be systematized. If you want to consider franchising, think about system, standard operating procedures. Think about input, process, and output. It's easy, but it's not simple. It's easy, but it's not simple. It takes time. It appeals to the future. It has got nothing to do with profit. It's not sales. If I push this amount of sales, I'll make this amount of money. It has got nothing to do with that. But if you get it right, believe me, the world is yours. The world is yours. Systematize your printing business.